Good morning, Rachel. I'm so glad that you're willing to talk with me this morning.
Yeah, of course. I was happy to do it.
Awesome. So, okay, I understand that you are a sophomore or a second year at Louisiana State University.
Yes. Go
Awesome.
Tigers.
And you're a member of Alpha Delta Pi sorority, right? Or 80 Pi.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I'm going to ask you a few questions because I understand that God has been up to some kind of cool stuff since campus has been shut down. So
Absolutely.
awesome. Okay, so let's start with this. You have been leading a Bible study in your sorority, right? Like, how long have you been leading that Bible study, and how has it been going?
So I've been leading it for 2 years. This is my second year, coming to the end of the second year, leading it in 80 Pi. And it was definitely off to a rocky start. I'm not going to lie. My friend in 80 Pi and I started it together. And I mean, there were several weeks where it was just the two of us and no one else showed up. And we would just have to sit there and, try and figure out, like what went wrong and what can we do better next time. And it was rough, but, we just kept going, kept persevering and kept, just being persistent. And now God's doing some really amazing things, and it's such a blessing. It's just so awesome to see what it's turned into.
Wow. But before we get into that, right? So, bring it back. You had weeks where like no one would show up for a time. It was really hard, but you're persisting, right? And
Right.
then just like 2 weeks ago, the world, like, the coronavirus popped up in the United States, and LSU eventually got shut down. So tell me, like, where were you when you found out that campus got shut down? And, what were the feelings that were running through your mind?
So I was actually at 80 Pi. I live at the 80 Pi house at LSU, and when we all found out, we were all just very disappointed. We were all very taken aback and surprised, and we were just sad because you only get 4 years of college, and all of a sudden, almost an entire semester was gone. And a lot of us were also really upset that we were all there, and our living in the house experience was over. You live in the house. I was going to do it for, that year. That was going to be my year to live in the house. It was going to be a great experience. And then it was cut short. And I was with, a lot of people that I'd grown really close to because of living in the house, and a lot of other exec members who live in the house. And it was just it was just really disappointing to find
Mm-hmm.
out that everything was cut short.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's rough. That's really hard. And I think a lot of people relate to those feelings of just, I'm not obviously like there's big problems happening in the world, but then there's also these changes that I'm navigating as well. Okay, so you move home and but you're still a chapter ministry leader. So tell me, like, what was it like moving your Bible study online? What did you think about that, and how did that go?
Well, so at LSU, we have 11 of us who are chapter ministry leaders, and our supervisor, Miss Allison, like got on the phone with us, got on a Zoom call, and basically asked us how we wanted to move forward. And we were all like, "Yeah, let's move it online. Like, why wouldn't we?" We were all like super excited to keep it going, and so I think that's really awesome that all of us were just in unison, like, of course, we're going to keep doing this.
Wow. Okay. So I think so far you've led two of your Bible studies online. So tell me, like, what was the first Bible study online like? Like, did you have sisters show up or were you alone on your Zoom room again?
No, actually. So I think the most we've ever had before moving online, like the most we've ever had was, 6 or 7 girls. A lot of the time we did have no one show up, but sometimes, we got some people there, but and we actually had 14 last week, which is like double the amount that we had ever had in person. And so that was just, I was not expecting that. It was just really incredible. People just kept
Wow.
showing up on the Zoom call, and I was like, this is crazy. But like I said, I mean, I think, people really have been seeking community in this time. And
Hmm.
I think, it's just a great opportunity to do that. And they took advantage of it. And I'm very grateful for that.
That's amazing. I love it. Well, finally, I would just love to know what advice or encouragement do you have for other Bible study leaders across the country?
just, being persistent. Like that's part of being a leader is, persevering. And I think that's what really got us to this point is, even on those weeks when no one would show up, we would still sit there and figure out like how we can get people there the next week. And
Mm.
you never know when breakthrough is going to happen, especially with God. Like you never know when he's going to really move. And so I would just encourage people to keep trying, keep persisting and persevering. And, people in your community might respond the same way that they did in mine. You never know. So,
Oh, that's excellent. Thank you so much, Rachel. I think your story is just really encouraging, especially that whole piece of like persevering, even when you're seeing nothing, and that you never know when God might just do something. I mean, he's always doing something, but
right.
actually seeing the fruit of that, you just never know. So, oh, well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.